live in Barbados, in a pleasant neighborhood. But I got this confused neighbor, and she my face hard like wood. She don't live far from me, always up and down the gap.
November 30th is fast approaching, and as you know, that's the date Barbados got its independence. It's the date we cut our umbilical cord from the colonial masters and decided to wait out on our own. I sat there and I was pondering how best could I celebrate independence on Up the Gap. I pondered and pondered, and then bam, it came to me. Why don't I do an episode on Conkies? We refer to Conkies as stew dumplings. It's a delicacy in Barbados, and it's synonymous with independence. So Conkies it shall be. Let me begin with the main ingredients. You have your pumpkin, sweet potatoes, coconuts, your corn flour, yellow, there's sugar, there's some white flour, just a dash. I also add some cornmeal to give it some texture and to add to the color. The liquids, milk, mixed essence, or almond essence. You can do either or, but I add a splash of both. You also have your spices. You know I love my spices. You have your spice. You have your nutmeg. And it would not be Conkies if you don't wrap everything in the banana leaves. So the banana leaves are here. We have everything laid out right here. Optional are raisins, but back home we refer to them as currants. Next, the measurements and the method. So we're here to show you the method, but I'm feeling real fussy because I have my two sisters here with me tonight, and together we are going to put the Conkies together. I have Kathy right here. I have Cheryl, who is visiting from Barbados. Hope it's not too cold for her.
It
but
is.
Welcome to Up the Gap.
Thank you. So here we have the grated pumpkin. And then we're going to add the grated sweet potato. And Laverne, you can start to mix that. And Kathy will give her a hand and add the grated coconut.
Next, we will add brown sugar. And now we're going to add some milk. This will add a bit of consistency and make the mixing together a little easier. Okay, next we're going to add some shortening.
And this is melted.
Yes, the mixture is coming together really well.
Add the cornmeal gradually.
Yeah, we've added the salt to the corn flour. We're doing it slowly because you don't want lumps. You want it to be all nice and even.
If you think that it's too runny, too soft, then you would add a bit more corn flour. And I must say, when my grandmother made these, of course, she just averaged everything. So we really didn't grow up knowing, you know, the exact quantities, but you know, she could hold an amount in her hand and just add it.
Yeah.
So, and today that's how I cook most of the time as well. I just average it.
Yeah.
When people ask me for recipes, it's like, I really don't know the quantities, but you know, I do make an effort to give them something that they can work with until they get to the stage where they can average like my grandmother used to do. Next, we're going to add a bit of flour. And also, this also helps to give good consistency.
Kathy's going to add a bit of cornmeal.
Right, because I love to add the cornmeal just to give it a bit more color and a bit more consistency.
I'm going to add a bit of nutmeg.
We're also going to add some spice. As you can see, it is our own ECAF spice.
A bit of almond essence and a bit of vanilla essence.
And of course, the last thing is the raisins. It used to get me so mad when I see my grandmother add the raisins. But as you get older, you realize the health benefits to these things. So they can't kill you.
And they do add flavor.
Yes, they do.
Add flavor.
They do.
They do.
We also have a bit of chipped coconut.
And this is optional.
Yes. So here you are. The finished product.
There
Everything
you go.
all
And
blended
see,
together.
It's not too runny or it's not too thick.
So already the finished product. Well, not quite, because we still have to put them to cook.
So here, this is the banana leaf. This is another phase that some people may consider hard work, but it's not really hard work. This is what we are going to use to place the batter or the dough for the conkies on. But first, we have to make the leaf pliable, and we do this by passing it over the heat on the stove. Now I have these leaves. These leaves are not from Barbados. I'm told these leaves are from the Philippines. So they're not doing as nicely as the ones from Barbados.
Of course, if you were at home now, you would just run into the backyard.
Of course, I'll just step in the backyard and take the leaves straight from the banana tree. And you cut it and you just pass it lightly over the steam, so that when you're folding it, it does not crack.
So here we have the banana leaf that has been heated or singed, as we would say, and ready for the mixture in preparation for cooking. So you add, based on the size of your banana leaf, you add mixture to the leaf in the center. And then you fold. Now, side, under, and there you have it. Now, perfect banana leaf, singed to the right texture, and ready for the pot.
Okay, as I said, these leaves are not from Barbados, so they're, some of them kind of holy, but you can still use it if you find yourself in this situation. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to patch it so that you can still use the leaf. So here is a little crack, and I don't want the mixture seeping through. So I'm going to take a piece that is whole and put it on top that space. So I have my mixture. Hope it works. And I'm going to fold. And there you go. Back, front. And there's no seepage.
So we have folded some of the mixture in the leaves to show you the process. And for our grandparents, I don't know if this was a challenge, but you have to make sure that when you're cooking your conkies now, they don't fall into the water, because then they're going to end up looking sappy, almost like those sugar cakes my son did on the last episode. So you don't want that. So they devised a way where they will put sticks into the bottom of the saucepan or the container to keep the water away from the conkies as they cook. So I guess that's why they call it stew dumplings.
Yes, because it's a steaming process.
That's
so
right.
they're basically stewing.
Right. So I would remember that we would have to run to the climate-cherry tree, I guess.
And some black sage.
Right, and break those things off. And my grandmother would fit them into the pot, just like what's here. But again, it was a mammoth pot because you're cooking for the whole gap. And they would fix them something like this.
So as you can see, we have some sticks in the saucepan. And there's water in the bottom. You have to have enough water to steam it and to make sure that it doesn't dry out. And really, as Laverne said, the purpose of the sticks is to prevent the conkies from getting into the water or the water getting into the conkies. You can also, some people also place some of the leaves atop the sticks. This is an extra precaution or as a barrier between the water and the conkies. So then you can go ahead, Laverne, you can pack this in, and you place your conkies on top of the sticks, making sure that they don't slip into the water. And there you go. So you can pack on top.
Right. A saucepan this size full of conkies would take like an hour and a half to cook. So I know you can't stay, so I will cover this down and put it to cook. I'll make sure you get some of the conkies for sure. It was a pleasure having you visit with me. It was almost like up the gap where we had to do all that grating, and the more you grate, the more it seemed to multiply in that container. But we would sit there cracking jokes and having the time of our lives. Always relive those times. So thank you so much.
Yes.
And to you who might have never tried making conkies, I hope based on this episode that you will give it a try. It is not as difficult as it seems, and I hope that you would enjoy what you make.
And let me say to you, you can have your conkies for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for supper. And you can have it with a hot beverage or a cold beverage. Mauby goes down well. Lemonade is nice. Ginger tea. And if you want to say cocoa tea,
bush
anything you choose to eat, to drink with your conky, it goes down well.
Yes.
Bye. See you next time up the gap.
Happy Independence, Barbados.
See you soon, Barbados.
Don't brag now. 2 hours later, your final product. My sisters have left. They're all finished. And let's see. As you can see, the color of the leaves are totally changed. And here we have the conky. Sliced it. Yes, it's all done. Nice and hot. Just right. All in a day's work.